Hey there. Welcome back. So we're done installing Eclipse, we're done installing the JDK. Now let's start up the Eclipse development environment. So click on this Eclipse icon. So this is the application where we're going to be writing all of our code. Chooses the workspace where you want to save all your code onto this computer. So click on Launch. We're going to create our project. So click on this Create a Java Project. And here we give a name. And since we're going to be practicing, I'm going to name this project as Java Basics. Let's just click on Finish. This is our Java Basics project. Now under the source folder, I'm going to right-click and go to New, and going to create something called a package. And package is just a place where we're going to be writing our code. It's basically going to be a folder on the drive. So let's click on Package. And I'm going to call this package Java_Basics. And then just click on Finish. And here is the package that has been created. And we're going to talk more about what packages are and what files are and classes are. So I'm just going to right-click here and go to New. And we're going to click on Class. Now we're going to actually create a class where we can type in all of the code. So I'm going to name this class Hello. And you can name this class anything you want. I gave it the name Hello. Just make sure that the class name starts with a capital letter. In this case, since we are naming it Hello, H is capital. Another thing we want to select is this option right here. Public static void main. If you choose this option, this will give us the ability to run this class as a Java program. And this is basically a method. We're going to talk more about what methods are. But basically choosing this is going to make a starting point for our program to run. You can run this class if you choose this option. So make sure this is selected. And then click on Finish. And there we go. This is our class. Notice it says public class Hello, and here's some code that was already entered for us. Because we chose that checkbox option. This public static void main. This is actually the starting point of every Java program. We'll talk more about that later. Now you might think that this is kind of hard to see, and it is. So for the purposes of recording this, I'm going to actually increase the font size. And you can choose to do the same thing to make it easier for you to read code on your own computer as well. So I'm going to right-click this file and go to Preferences. And then go to Text Editors. Click on Text Editors. Click on Colors and Fonts. And then scroll down to where it says Java. Right here, click on this Expand this Java folder. Keep scrolling down. And then there's this Java Editor text font, etc. Click on this. And then click on Edit button right up here. And this will give us the ability to change the font that we type, the size of the font and color and so on. We're not going to change anything else. Just the font size. Instead of 12, I'm moving this up to 18. OK, and then click on this Close button. Once you choose 18, and notice now this preview, it's showing us what the size of the code is going to look like. With that size, and I think this is good. So let's just apply and close. Click on the Apply and Close button and there we go. The text is much bigger for us to read. Now we're going to write our first line of code in Java. By the way, this 2 slashes, this is just there by default. When you have 2 slashes like this, you can write anything here. So I can type anything here. And this is basically notes for myself, or for someone else that's going to review my code. I can type stuff here, and these are basically things that are ignored by the computer but very helpful for other humans that are reading the code. I can leave all kinds of messages here. So we'll say I want to print something to the screen. And so that's what we'll do. Okay, so on the next line here, I can actually write Java code. This right here is not really code. This is just a message. I can type anything I want. This is known as commenting. Comments are helpful for other developers to understand what's going on, but the computer ignores everything after this slash on that same line. Alright, so let's print something to the screen. Type in exactly as I type. And we're going to go over the details of exactly what each of these words mean later, but just type in capital SYS system. We're gonna type in system spelled exactly the way that this is with the capital S.out.print. Make sure you spell it right. Print ln. Like that with open and closed parentheses. Alright, make sure the spelling and the capitalization is typed exactly as it's shown here, okay? Remember, Java is a case-sensitive language, so the class name must be a capital. That the first letter should be a capital, the rest are lowercase, and things like these. These are reserved words that we're typing into Java language now, so Java will understand system with capital S, but if you type in system with lowercase s, it's not gonna understand what we're trying to do. So this is actually used to print things to the screen, to the console. And you'll see what that is exactly, but the way to do that is within these parentheses. We type in double quotes, alright. And in these double quotes we want to write something. So I'll say hello there. I'll put dots at the end here. Type in anything you want, any sentence. You can greet yourself like I am here, and then type Ctrl S for save, for saving this file. If you're on Mac, use Command S. If you're on Windows, you use Ctrl S. So that will save this file. And then you can right click, and then run as, choose a run as option, and then hover your mouse on this Java application and click it. And it's gonna run this code as a Java application. If you don't have this main method defined, then you want to make sure you have this. Otherwise, this file will not run as a Java program, okay? Very important to keep in mind. So anytime you create a class, at least for the next several lectures, we're going to be creating classes with this method defined up here, and we'll talk more about what methods are. But that's the same idea. When I create a class, you have to choose that checkbox, where it says public static void main. You have to choose that. And we'll do that in just a moment. I'll show you. But notice on the bottom here it printed what I typed here. That's what this command does. Code is basically instructions to the computer on what to do. And we just basically told the computer that, hey, I want this printed to the screen. And to do that, we had to type in this code. And that's why we're seeing this sentence appear on the bottom here in the console. I can close this console tab and that will disappear. And I can run this again. Right-click Run as Java application. And notice it appears again right here. The console automatically pops up. So try this out, practice, type in a couple of sentences. See what displays in the console. Now if you want to create another class, just for your own practice, you could just right-click here on that folder or on that package, hover your mouse on New, and then go down to Class. And then you can choose to name another class. So let's choose a class name Test. Make sure that the first letter is capital. Everything else is lowercase test. If you have a class with a compound word like test results, like this is a compound word test result. For the second word, the R is also capitalized. This is known as camel casing. And we're going to talk more about naming conventions later, but that's typically how you name a class. So let's just name this class Test with a capital T. Make sure you choose this option, public static void main, because if you don't have that option, you won't be able to run your program. Don't worry about why that's required right now. We'll talk about all the nitty-gritty details later. So click on Finish and this is our new class, and in here I could type something else. So why don't you try this out as an assignment? Print to the screen, hello, the weather is great. Pause the video, try that out on your own. And then you can resume to watch my solution. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully that wasn't too difficult. Make sure you had tried that. System.out.println. Hello, the weather is great. And make sure you put a semicolon that's required. If you notice in the previous class as well, we had a semicolon at the end. I don't think I emphasized that. That's important, okay? So hopefully you were observant, and notice that this code at the end of the code, we have to give this semicolon right there. And that's what we did in this scenario as well. To complete the sentence or complete the code for that line. So now that this code is complete, make sure to save this particular file test.java. Or Command S or Ctrl S if you're on Windows. And that will save this file. Now to run it, you just right-click, go to Run as Java Application. And then notice it says right down here, "Hello, the weather is great." Now I just want to show you that if you don't have this main method, let's get rid of this. Let's say you try to create a class, and you forgot to put that method there. Notice you get these red squiggly lines underneath. Everything in Java should be inside of a method. And we'll talk more about what a method is and so on. But the main method here. In the previous class that we wrote, hello.java, this was a method. Without a method, code does not run in Java. So the system.out.println, this code will not run. If I right-click and try to run it, run as, notice it doesn't even give me a Run as Java application. It doesn't even give me that option. So I need this to be inside of a method. And we're gonna put it. I'm gonna just do Ctrl-Z to go back to where we were. I'm gonna need this any Java code to be inside of this method for now. We'll be creating more methods as we go further in this course. But with that said, we don't really need this test class anymore. I'm just gonna delete it. That was just for demonstration purposes. Let's delete the test class and click on OK. We're gonna be creating more classes as we go on in this course. With that being said, I'm gonna wrap up this lecture. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.